Hi, my name is Suzanne McCormick. I'm the Executive Director of the Immigration Center for Women and Children, or ICWC as we call it. I founded ICWC in Los Angeles in 2004 because there was a great need for services. I formerly worked at another nonprofit, public counsel, and I saw that many victims were not getting served. And so I started ICWC to help meet the need for the community in Los Angeles.
Hi, I'm Mona Patel-Sikora. I'm the Directing Attorney of ICWC's Los Angeles office. I first met Suzanne in 1999 when we worked together at Public Counsel representing battered immigrants under the Violence Against Women Act. When Suzanne founded ICWC in 2004, I was privileged to be a founding board member. 10 years later, I'm delighted to still be a part of ICWC. I'm on its management team. The management team consists of 4 attorneys, including myself and Suzanne McCormick, who's the ED and founder, Susan Boyer, who is our deputy director. She's based in our San Francisco office, and Jessica Fark, who's the directing attorney of the San Francisco office. Together, the management team has a combined 50 years of experience representing and advocating on behalf of abused immigrant women and children. In addition to providing representation, management team members are nationally recognized experts who train thousands of advocates, author training manuals, and advocate nationally and locally for policies that benefit abused immigrant women and children. Together, our management team is committed to providing quality, affordable legal services to underrepresented women and children in California.
Hi, I'm Myra Pop. I began my involvement with ICWC on a postgraduate fellowship. After a couple of months, I fell in love with the organization and became a staff attorney here at the Los Angeles office. ICWC represents thousands of immigrant women and children in applications for lawful immigration status, because without such status, they are uniquely vulnerable to abuse, because perpetrators know that they are reluctant to seek help and escape the abuse. Several immigration laws can fundamentally change those conditions by providing abused immigrants with lawful immigration status and giving them the access to public benefits that will enable them to escape their abusive situations. The application process is extremely complex and requires substantial legal assistance. ICWC developed a nationally acclaimed model that maximizes the number of women and children whose lives are changed by these provisions.
My name is Liz Gonzalez. I've been working at ICWC for quite some time. I started in 2006 as a legal assistant when it was just Suzanne and myself. It's been great to see it grow. I left in 2008 and returned in after the first year of law school to volunteer for my first summer. Returned again my last semester of law school and was lucky enough to be offered a position as a staff attorney here. It's been great to see it grow. It's been great to see how many people ICWC has serviced. One of the provisions that Myra referred to is the U visa. The U visa was created by a nearly unanimous Congress to address concerns by law enforcement that immigrants were too afraid, basically, to call the police and report crime. The provision called the U visa provides a path to citizenship to applicants who have helped law enforcement, and they also must meet federal admissions requirements. ICWC has represented 10% of all applicants of crime victim-based legal status in the entire nation in the year 2013. This is a direct result of ICWC's mission to maximize the quality and volume of legal services available to vulnerable women and children in the United States. The approximately 1,000 survivors that ICWC has assisted in obtaining legal status this past year have gained the stability, the security, and the independence that will hopefully protect them from further victimization and will allow them to engage fully in the civic life in Los Angeles.
I'm Esmeralda Mesa, one of the staff attorneys at ICWC, and I began with ICWC in 2012 when I was a summer intern. I love the work that ICWC did so much that I returned in the fall of 2012 to volunteer with the DACA clinic. And last year in 2013, when I finished law school, I began a one-year UCLA Public Service Fellowship here at ICWC, and one of the focuses of my fellowship project was on U visa certification advocacy. Legal status for crime victims under the U visa immigration provision requires a form called a certification of victim helpfulness to be completed by law enforcement. Some law enforcement agencies are very generous in completing these forms, while others are more restrictive, which results in radically different outcomes for crime victims depending on where the crime occurred. until very recently, LAPD's certification policy was implemented with fundamentally different interpretations by officials in different divisions, with the result that an abused immigrant in one part of LA would obtain legal status, while someone who suffered the same harm in another part of LA would not. For years, members of the LA VAWA network, including our organization ICWC, worked with LAPD to adopt a policy that would avoid such arbitrary implementation. Thanks to involvement by Mayor Garcetti's Office of Immigrant Affairs, LAPD has reconfirmed a victim-centered certification policy. This is an important step. However, advocates throughout the city are concerned that without ongoing training and advocacy, the officials who chose a restrictive approach in the past will continue to do so. ICWC has substantial expertise in educating law enforcement officials about how participation in the U visa process can contribute to victim and community safety. As demand for legal representation grows, our legal staff does not have adequate time to take on this project. Funding for a new fellow will continue to expand on some of the successes of my fellowship while continuing to tackle on challenges.
ICWC would use a $10,000 grant to create a 3-month law graduate fellowship. This fellow would do a few things. They would train LAPD staff about the benefits to law enforcement of participating in the U visa program. They would work with individual officers to consider and address their concerns with the new LAPD U visa policy, and they would advocate on behalf of individuals to ensure that their applications for certifications of helpfulness get full consideration by LAPD officials. Thank you so much for your consideration.